Hello, and welcome again to Grace Theory. Today we're going to talk about, I don't know, I should have read. I should have come up with a title. Try this again. Hello, and welcome again to Grace Theory. Today we're going to continue with my thoughts on AI, and what jobs are there going to be for us once the robots start taking over. So this isn't really the first time that we've come up against this question as to, is our innovations, is our technology going to end all work for us? And every time we have this problem, there's exponential growth that follows it, either in additional innovation or population and just prosperity of any given nation. Like you look at the Industrial Revolution and the sheer population growth that boomed from it, and all of the additional sciences that we were able to figure out from that, because now even more people didn't have to work, and they were able to put their efforts elsewhere, creating whole new industries for themselves. And this happens time and time again when we look at the electrical revolution. There was hordes of people who were put out of work because of the electrical revolution. I like to always bring up lamplighters. The entire industry of people walking up and down streets lighting street lamps were put out of work because we could simply just flick on a switch. Innovation keeps coming, and no matter how hard we try to stop it, it happens. And there is always a very turbulent adjustment period that we experience while we move through it. And one of the things that we often forget is that it doesn't happen overnight. The amount of jobs that were created in installing electric lamp posts, removing the gas ones and putting the electric ones in. And that created a whole other industry of electricians that were just, it wasn't a job before we had a need to create people who were educated in electricity and how these systems work. And then that created innovations in electrical generation. It created whole new sciences, and eventually we got the atomic age from that in the need to create additional power. But so often the problem we face is that we don't know what we're going to get from it, what innovations are going to come from the loss of industry. And a lot of people have a hard time with change. They get really comfortable with what they know and what they do, and it's like the coal miners, or at least how we view the coal miners. Like, what are they going to do when we no longer need coal? Well, we can get them re-educated, and these are constantly the same plans we come up with, but there does get to a point where you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Someone in their 50s isn't going to want to go back to school and start from the beginning. So there's other issues we do need to address when it comes to these adjustments in our technology. And with a lot of the innovations we have are going to put a lot of people out of work. We have construction robots. I found a great construction robot called the Hadron 105, and it's just a bricklaying robot. We fill it with bricks, and it has a big boom arm that comes down and lays bricks out in a pattern that we have designed, and it can just keep doing that far faster and far longer than any human can. Even big crews of humans can. But we still need to come in after we build this brick house to do all the finishing work, to run the piping for water, to run the wire for electrical. And another area where AI is coming is in our manufacturing and logistical jobs. And this puts a lot of people's jobs in jeopardy. When we have machines that can build our products for us faster and more reliable than we ever could, and they can ship them around the world for us more quickly, more efficiently than we ever could. A self-driving ocean tanker full of products built by machines in another part of the world is coming, and it will unload that ship itself. It will then take it to the warehouses, to the distribution centers, and then take it to the shops in which we'll buy it, in which will be self-checkout, in which we can just go in and get the items we need, scan it ourselves, and walk out. But we've known this for a long time. And we've been talking about that for a long time, but now it's also coming for white-collar jobs. There was another technology I discovered called ROS, and what this is basically an automated paralegal. It allows lawyers to search through archives and archives of legal precedents and other cases to find the information they need for their current case. Now, this puts paralegals, makes them completely obsolete. And the same with doctors. Doctors can look through a whole world's library of medical information to find the information they need much faster than any amount of interns could ever possibly do. But this also frees up the interns and frees up the paralegals to learn far more valuable skills besides just research. They get to they can spend their time thinking about how all this stuff is interconnected, how to better help their clients, and in doctors' cases, their patients, help them on their personal levels, not just see them as a case that needs to be solved. So, what are the jobs that we have to look forward to? What will our kids and our grandkids be doing? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what kind of jobs we're going to innovate, what things we're going to end up doing to fill the void of the boredom and the monotony that will have come from the lack of work, the great inequalities that might come up, and the social struggles that we might have to go through during this process. But throughout our history, it is that exact adversity and challenge and problems that arise that always leads to our greater innovations. Like the Industrial Revolution came about due to a simple labor shortage brought upon by the Black Plague. There was just not enough people to work the jobs anymore. They needed to invent something to solve that problem, and they did. And then that only caused a cyclical chain of events of even more innovation, because now they had these machines that ran on coal to do the jobs that they no longer had people to do, but they still needed to get coal, so they innovated ways to get coal more efficiently, and that allowed them to produce more. And then eventually got to the point where not only did they fill the jobs that there weren't people to do, they'd surpass the people and put people out of work. And then that led the people flooding to the New World to find work. Before all that happened, no one knew that this was going to happen. No one knew that that's where we were going. I do predict that it's going to cause us to focus heavily on space exploration, because it's really one of the few things left for us to do. Because we've oversaturated ourselves with mindless entertainment to fill the gaps in our time. Our jobs are going away. There's nothing really left on the planet to really explore. We could go to the depths of the ocean and so on. We're going to look outward, and I feel that we really need to. And like the internet has pretty much taken away the need for people to work in brick and mortar stores. But it also gave us the tool to create YouTube personalities. And a lot of people have turned to just being intellectuals, being philosophers, being commentators, being provocateurs, just asking questions, engaging with other people, getting people to think and talk. And this couldn't have been predicted. We found a way to make a living. We found a way to solve these problems. It's just always the uncertainty scares us. And we often find ourselves thinking in the short term, in the immediate, the right now, like, oh my God, we have this problem right now. But we always, time and again, solve the problem. And it's just the fear of the adjustment that almost stops us from wanting to take that step. So it's okay. We will find a solution to the problem. We always do. And it's just a matter of us starting to work together. It's a matter of us finding solutions to our bigger problems as well. And the more and more of us that don't have to spend our time laboring away, the more solutions we'll have. It frees up more people to come up with innovative ideas, and that's what we're going to see more and more of. And I think that's where I'm going to end today. On the note of, we got to be willing to take chances, and we can't be afraid to do it, even if it means it's uncomfortable while we do it. And so, until next time, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Comment below. I'm always interested in what you have to say. And until next time, bye.